From the Goodrich High School Gymnasium, good evening, high school basketball fans, and welcome to the Fox Valley Association. I'm Dave Preston here along with Al Diener in the Redbird cage, whatever we're going to, the Redbird Arena, I guess, here to bring you all the play-by-play action tonight. And Al, we think we've got a pretty good one. The Oshkosh West Indians come in here at 4-0. They really feel that they can challenge for the Fox Valley Association this year, and they have the horses to do it, namely in Ryan Dutton and Mike Connect, two very fine basketball players.
Well, the Fondy team this year is really playing well. Greg Fivey has stepped up big time this year and playing like a man possessed, I guess you could say. Maybe two concerns I have with the team is maybe we need to get someone other than Drew trying the outside shot, maybe the 12 to 15 footers. And I think we need to get a little more rest time for Derek. Not necessarily that he can't handle it, but should something happen that he get hurt or some get in foul trouble or something like that along the line, have we got somebody that can step in and really run this team? I guess that's the only two concerns I have. But other than that, I think we got a fine team this year, and it should be a pretty good game.
I'd like to see the Cards maybe take a little better shot selection when it comes to three-point shots, Alan. I think we're turning down some 15, 16-footers and looking solely for 18-footers, which at times can be fine and dandy. But I'm a firm believer that you don't turn down the good 15-foot shot when it's there, simply to step outside and take an 18-foot shot. So, but this team a little bit young that way in that regard, so I think we're going to see some of that. A couple of people that have really stepped up, Kyle Lace in the last couple of games has played very, very well. He is going to set himself into a role. He's not going to be a scoring machine, but he is causing some problems inside. At 6'5" height, he's starting to play like an Eric Grams. He's starting to ball back into the hole. He's kind of doing a little bop up down there, playing the garbage man, so to speak. And that's a role that he is going to be very well suited for. And I think Dick Diener's been very impressed with his play as of late as well. You talk about Derek. We're going to see a real fine point guard here tonight, also from Oshkosh West. And while Derek is a senior and has the experience behind him, point guard from Oshkosh West is a freshman. His name is Weiss, and he is very good.
I haven't really seen the Oshkosh West team. I guess the thing you're saying about the three-point shots is maybe pretty valid. And I think it's probably a virus ever since they came with the three-point shot. People tend to take that step back instead of taking the open 15-footer or 12-footer. Some people might be concerned about Drew missing a lot of his shots early in the season. He's got a fine touch, and he's got a really good stroke, and I think that'll come around.
There's no doubt he's a shooter.
Yeah, he's a shooter, and that'll come around. I think that, like I say, though, I think we need to get somebody else maybe taking some outside shots, take a little of the pressure off of him, and maybe open up the inside game a little more for
Fond du Lac, of course, this year trying to up-tempo the basketball a little bit more than they had in prior years when we were a little bit more of a half-court basketball team. Now trying to dictate the tempo of the basketball game. Meanwhile, Steve Randall, the head coach of Oshkosh West, has been an up-tempo basketball squad for many, many years. There may have been a couple of games when they came into this gymnasium or we went up there, and Dick took him out of that running style simply because Fond du Lac was dictating the tempo that way. But Oshkosh West likes to run. However, he says this year we're a better half-court team, and you probably won't see us run as much as we have in the past. So interesting switch between the two basketball squads coming to this game.
Yeah, it should be an interesting game. I think the players that Dick has this year in the Fond du Lac squad certainly can get out and run with the ball. We're getting good ball movement. We got a good inside game, and I think the outside game is going to come around. Yeah, it should be interesting.
All righty, Al and I will be back with the starting lineups for both these squads right after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal Basketball Report. Welcome back to the Redbird Arena here at Goodrich High School. I'm Dave Preston tonight, along with my special guest commentator, Al Diener, as Mike Pfeiffer again on assignment this weekend. And if they don't win this weekend, we will not allow him to go on assignment ever again, I'll tell you that. Let's take it down below, and we'll pick up the lineups for tonight's game.
At this time, I would like to engage to the playing of our national anthem.
All righty, we're going to take it across the way, and Maestro Robert Sherrick, the Goodrich High band director, with our national anthem. take it down below, and here are the lineups for this evening's game. Right after the school song. Boy, I'm following things up left and right here tonight, aren't I? I know the routine around here. Sure I do. No, that's the problem, Al. You know, we had a game here last Saturday night. Of course, the band wasn't here. Things change when the band is here, and I have to remember that. And then again, you wind up with a few different routines across the area depending on where you are. And now we're ready to go down below. The Cardinals, I'm not sure, those new jerseys and uniforms as well here this evening? I think they might be. I do know that they had new warm-ups, and looks like a different logo on the pants to me at any rate, so I think they've got new uniforms as well. Let's pick up the starting lineups now.
Number 12, Ryan Taylor. Number 20, Todd Rankin. Number 22, Steve Kittle. Number 24, Grant Hyman. Number 30, Darren Werner. Number 34, Jeff Wallace. Number 40, Mike McFarland. Number 42, Gus Simon. Number 44, Derek Pendler. And number 52, Andy Ginsberg. To the final of the Cardinals, number 20, Jeff Barron. Number 0, Ryan Blaney. Number 12, Jacob Brennan. Number 10, Corey Higgins. 24, Casey Jacob. Number 3, Andy Justin. Number 34, Andy Malini. Number 32, Andy Rose. Number 5, Dan Drum. Starters for the next game. For Oshkosh West, number 4, 5'11" senior, Matt White. For the Cardinals, number 21, 6'1" senior, Derek Steiner. For the Indians, number 14, 5'8" freshman, Dan White. For the Cardinals, number 16, 6'4" sophomore, Derek Steiner. For the Indians, number 32, 6'1" senior, Mike Bennett. For the Cardinals, number 33, 6'7" senior, Greg Spivey. For Oshkosh West, number 50, 6'6" senior, Russ Curtis. For the Cardinals, number 44, 6'5" senior, Kyle Lake. For the Oshkosh West Indians, number 54, 6'5" senior, Ryan Gunn. For the Cardinals, number 1, 6'3" senior, Steve Zimmerman.
And there you have the starting lineups for this evening's game, with just the one balcony open here tonight. Pretty solid 3/4 filled, and a good crowd this evening. Of course, things pick up after the holiday seasons. I think people don't get into an awful lot of the winter sports, both basketball and hockey, until it seems after that time, Al. I don't know if it's the holiday shopping that tends to take away from it, or if everyone's just not ready for it yet. I don't know, but they seem to get into the hoopla, so to speak,
Well, it's a
after
busy
Christmas.
Busy time of the year for everybody.
Yeah, that's very true. So Greg High-Five go in on the center jump here with 6'6" senior Russ Horton, and the Cardinals come out of there with the basketball, and here's Derek Diener out hole high. And he's going to take it down, penetrate through the lane, give it a 5-0 off to the baseline, turns down on Horton. Baby skyhook is good by Greg Fivey, and he just took Horton to school on that one off the bat. So up court comes the freshman, Dan Weeks. Wise down low to Horton, treble. Not real, I guess that's just a credit to the basketball that's being played up and down the Fox River Valley and the Fox Valley Association. That Oshkosh with a freshman, of course, we had the freshman Drew Diener last year. We're not really starting, but getting considerable playing time. And this year it is Dan Weiss, the freshman for Oshkosh West. Ball knocked out of bounds here. We'll go back to the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Oshkosh West last year up at West gave the Cards absolute fits. They're ready to advance one more step, they feel, this year. Here's Fyvie on a lean in from 14. Good. Wow, Greg Fyvie, hot start, taking Horton to school.
Hit his first two, just like last.
Here's Ryan Dutton, left side sidewalk. He is played by Kyle Lace. He comes up, free throw line extended, he hit the jumper. Ryan Dutton, a 3-year starter for the Oshkosh West Indians. Derek Diener comes down, free throw line jumper, bang out! Derek, his first bucket of the game. Shootout here at the Redbird Arena. 6-2 score. Wise. Dutton out hole high. Played again by Lace. Takes him downtown, then pulls up 15-footers. Good. Has anybody missed yet?
5 for 5. Can't keep up this pace.
We're going to run out of score sheets. Fyvie. He traveled, got away with it. Spins down in the lane on Horton again. This one finger rolls off. Lace tried. Rebound comes down and away to Matt Wise. Give it to Dan Wise. He'll bring it across the timeline. West with a chance to tie the score. Dan Wise, as he comes off here to Mike Connect. Connect averaging as well in double figures for the West Indians. Tran away here from Dan Wise outside. No, that's going to be a foul on Horton, pushing off on Fyvie. Horton tried to get away with one there. Gave a little bump to Fyvie. Well, what do you think of the whole Reggie White thing?
It's amazing.
This been something else? It's been quite a week, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Yes, sir. Derek Diener will bring it across the timeline, walking up into the forecourt here for the Cardinals. Drew, right side sidewalk. Here's Lace, hole hot. Now they've tried to come from Zimmerman, going high, low down to Fyvie. Fyvie just wanted him to come into the low post, and Zimmy thought that he was going to slide down the post, and they throw the ball away. So the West Indians will have another chance here to tie up the basketball game. There's Dan Wise. Got it down here to Horton. Bump, bang by Lace, and a foul. Did they change a matchup there, Al? No, Lace is still covering Dutton. He must have just been sliding down to help out on Horton. And I had to look-see there very quickly if maybe they hadn't changed a defensive matchup, but they have not. Ryan Dutton, they get a double up on him. He comes cross-court down into the lane. Shot put up there by Darren Werner would not go down, and the Cardinals clear. And both teams have finally missed one shot each. Derek Diener to the right side, pulls up, a little 17-footer, leaned in there, off the back of the rim, would knock it out. Werner clears it. Low outlet pass, comes to Wise, and he'll bring it across the timeline. Wise to Werner, circle high left side, popping up outside the high post. Here's Horton. Give it to Dutton, fall away, downtown. Freddie Brown, job by Ryan Dutton is good. Boy. You don't think a few schools are going to be looking at that young man. He can play the game, there's no doubt about it. Mike Zimmerman down to the right side. Got it down low post, they split it back out high. Here's Kyle Lace, up hole high, swinging around. Drew Diener off the left side sidewalk. Fakes left, comes back right. Connect with him all the way. Now lets him go. Drew with a tray gun.
That's what we need. Get off to a hot start.
Well, they come out and answer Dutton's tray with a tray by Drew Diener. 9-7 basketball game, and it's a shootout at the Redbird Arena here tonight. Out hole high, Horton threw it into the hands. He thought he had Dutton sliding or flashing through on the baseline, and he threw it up high into the hands of Fyvie. Here's the Zimmerman. Zimmerman steps inside, pulls up shot blocked by Horton, or was that Werner? I believe it might have been Werner. And the rebound tipped by Ryan Dutton into the hands of Dan Wise. So Connect gives a pick here to Wise, comes around it, no place to go. As fighting through it nicely was Derek. Now comes around another one, slides the pass across on the baseline looking for Dutton. Knocked away by Lace and out of bounds. So the basketball is going to go back to the West Indians. Dutton will come out, so does Connect. Try and keep some freshness there, otherwise I can't imagine why they'd take him out right now. The ball banked free here by Derek Diener. Up off the pines into the basketball game is Jeff Wolank for Oshkosh West, as well as Andy Dittburner, a big post player. at 6'8", and he knocks the ball here away and out of bounds. Oh, they're going to call Ditburner with a foul. Ditburner picks up the personal. Second team foul. Kyle Lace and Mike Zimmerman come out. Casey Jekyll is into the basketball game. And also into the ball game here for the Fond du Lac Cards is Dan Schrum. 6'1" sophomore. Has played very well in the early going. Boy, he came through in some real clutch play, as a matter of fact, a week and a half ago against Milwaukee Hamilton. Did a lot of scoring in the OT. Here's Fivey, 16-footer caught. Greg Fivey, his 6th of the first quarter. Fond du Lac leads it 11-7. And Dan Weiss will bring it back across the timeline. Gets a pick there from Werner, comes around it, tried to shovel it down on the baseline to Woollang, and they lose it on the baseline and out of bounds, and very quickly Ryan Dutton back up off the Pines to come back in. And Dan Weiss going to take a breather.
Oshkosh seems to be playing a typical Fondy offense, either down inside or out of three-point range.
Well, they have the height. And Steve Randall said, you know, this is really the first big team that I've had. Drew Diener, Trey, ripped it down. Aaron Trays for Drew Diener here in the first quarter. It's 14-7. The Cards double the score. Woollang popping up hole high here now is Matt Wise. Dutton slides off the high post, and now a reaching foul going to be called there on Derek Diener. And that was kind of a cheapo, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
He really didn't do that much to get a foul. I think a rather quick whistle. May have been more like an excuse me whistle, quite frankly.
No harm, no foul. That's the way it should be.
Now, I think that was a situation where the official was anticipating that maybe Derek was going to do more and did not, but he'd already blown the whistle, had to call something. Up off the Pines into the ball game here now for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Corey Higgins, 5'8" junior, running one-hander here, missed, but Schrum is there to put it back down. Fond du Lac leads at 16-7. West has gone ice cold since the early going of the basketball game. Ditburner down to the baseline, shot blocked, Fivey, rebound away to Jekyll. Higgins in the backcourt, Drew Diener down low to Fivey, turns down on Ditburner, steps inside, missed the shot. And the rebound is cleared by Werner for Oshkosh West. And Woollang now will bring it across the timeline. Woollang looking a little unsure of what he wants to do. They run a weave out head of the key. Now leave Dutton out hole high all alone, and he hits the tray. Oh, my. Well, they kind of, so to speak, sucker punched us on that one, didn't they? Higgins popping off the low post is Schrum. Up high post now, Fivey. Split it off on the weak side. Shot here by Higgins. No. Fivey with a foul. High Fivey, his first personal, second team foul. Those of you who may not have listened before and didn't realize that, yes, I did call Joe Harmson High Harmson. We've decided that the nickname should be recycled because it fits elbows nicer with High Fivey.
Use it or lose it.
That's right. We have the patent on it, the copyright, whatever you want to call it. We will continue to use it. Ditburner. I don't know what we'll do after this year, but here's a connect with a tray. That one air ball. And Lace boxes out. The Cards will get the basketball as it goes out of bounds. 1:07 remaining in your first quarter of action. And no pressure applied. Well, it looks a lot like last year's Cardinal team in that regard, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The Cards were better in the half-court defense. Tray by Drew and a foul. Oh, my.
He's on fire, Dave. 3 for 3 from long distance.
And the foul is on Mike Connect, who connected with Drew Diener as he was shooting that tray, and Drew's going to go to the line and try to complete a rare 4-point play. He missed it. 19-10 basketball game. West, if they want to, would have the last shot at things here with 50 seconds remaining in the quarter, and they lose it on the baseline and get it out of bounds. One thing, Al, when you got a freshman in the lineup early in the season, no doubt you're going to have a few growing pains. especially when that young man is at point guard. Pole high, here's Schrum. Drew Diener, played by Connector on the left side. Here's Lace popping up pole high once again. Around to the right side, Schrum. They break Jekyll free. 15-footer at the free throw line is good. Casey Jekyll with his first bucket of the game. Fond du Lac leads at 21-10. They've been in command of the West Indians this first quarter. 13 ticks on the clock. Ryan Dutton, played here by Jekyll nicely. Now gets around him, gets some help. They lose the basketball on the baseline, picked up by Horton. He traveled with the ball. And the fans now helping out the Fond du Lac Cards. Everybody across the way, see Kenny Hare and what have you, trying to tell the team that there's 5 seconds remaining here in the quarter. Don't forget, guys. Quickly. Derek Diener not going to get a good shot away. It's off the glass. No, and that'll be the end of the first quarter of action. And our score here, after 1 quarter of play from the Redbird Arena at Goodrich High School, is the Fond du Lac Cardinals 21 and Oshkosh West 10. Back into this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball report.
Most out of your TV with 2 channels of HBO. It's the premiere of a romantic hit on HBO. There's only one thing with...
We get back underway here at the Redbird Arena as we start the second quarter of action, and Dan Weiss goes right down the lane, drops one in, and a foul. And it's going to be on Derek Diener. Al, how about those first quarter stats?
For the Fondy Cards in the first quarter, they're 0 for 1 from the line, 9 for 16 for 56% from the floor. Three-pointers, they were 3 for 4 for 75%. 5 rebounds and only 1 turnover. Took care of the ball really well. For Oshkosh West Indians, they were 4 for 9 for 44% from the floor, 2 for 4 3-point land for 50%, 4 rebounds and 6 turnovers.
Well, the freshman Dan Weiss cool and calmly steps to the line and bangs down the free throw for a 3-point play, and it's 21-13. Mike Zimmerman, Jacob, split it off down to Zimmy, back up between the 2 rings. Here's Corey Higgins. Jacob, looping feed down here to Drew, turns, goes to the hole, missed the shot. Came back with Kyle Laced on the Pines here to start the second quarter of action, give him a breather. And a blocking foul is going to be the call on Corey Higgins. Corey's not going to see it that way, or not going to feel that way about it, but he was moving the feet and did not get a good set. Warner comes into Dutton. And the point guard takes over. Here's Warner out of the coffin corner. Wise, Warner, up high post. They come to Horton, split it off the post. Connect his open tray there, would knock it down, and an undercut by Dutton on Flybee, and Dutton's going to get the personal. First personal on him. Fourth team as well. So again, on the common foul, the Cards will bring it up. 6:58 here in the half. And leading it 21-13. Up high post again is Jacob. Coming around the pick is Drew Diener. Had the shot there, then turned it down. Zimmerman reloads out to Corey Higgins. Give it to Fivey, flashing through his due. Fivey, Drew, as Fivey's going to take the shot, and Horton there to clear it. And they'll leave it now for Dan Weiss. Connect to the right side sidewalk. Down low to the block. Here's Horton, backs down on Fivey, double clutching, high off the glass, he put it down. Boy, I tell you, Fivey was right there in his face and made Horton change his shot. You can't do much more than that defensively, and Horton went high off the glass and got it down. Zimmerman comes around Warner, pulls up free throw line, jumper's gone by Zimmy. His first bucket of the game. 23-15 by 8, still the Cardinals. Looping feed down low, Dutton, and stepping in front of the pass from Dutton is Corey Higgins. Up court they come, Drew Diener. Look down to the baseline to Jackal, he was cut off there. Reloaded out to Corey Higgins, around to Zimmy. Posting up now, Jackal, go high, low down to Fivey, fouled by Horton. Second personal, the 5th team on the West Indians. You're not being shy on me tonight, are you?
Just studying the game, Dave.
Either that or too much pizza to stew. I knew I shouldn't have given you that pepperoni stuff.
Yeah, plenty of that. Rather uncharacteristic for Dick Diener this early in the season. He's gone about 10 deep on his bench here.
Well, I think he feels, you know, Corey Higgins, Al, had started in the first, at least the first game, I do believe. And I think they feel that they had to work him back into the lineup, legitimate player. And, of course, Schrum and Jekyll have been getting considerable playing time. And rightfully should. And there's the rest that you were talking about to Derek in Corey Higgins.
Yeah. He must have heard me.
Yeah. He hit the first, missed the second one, but the Cardinals out of there with the rebound and reload the basketball. Got it down low to He steps around Horton, reverse layup won't drop. Knocked out of bounds by Horton, back to Fond du Lac.
British a little cold here in the second quarter. Of course, that's to be expected with all the substitutes, I guess. You don't want to sit the starters down so long that they lose their touch.
Werner back in, Connect comes out, Dutton comes out as Dittburner is in. And Fond du Lac will inbound the basketball. Zimmerman comes right back to Corey Higgins, and they'll bring it back out between the two rings. Here's Bybee. Comes to Zimmerman. Schrum, circle high right side, swing between the two rings. Corey Higgins to Zimmy. Jekyll now, they post up with him. Off the Schrum, looks down low post, now give it to Zimmy. Comes off the pick and he hits the 16-footer. Well chosen shot there by Mike Zimmerman. You know, I'll tell you, Zimmy's not going to lead this team in scoring, but he has got such quiet leadership. And then comes back and grabs the rebound on the defensive end, too. Up court they come, Bybee, running one-hander, they're going to call him on the travel. I don't know if it was a wet spot there. Unfortunately, Bybee did not go down to the floor on that one, Al. Boy, that looked like it could have been a twisted ankle very easily, didn't it?
Yes, it did. It really slipped out from under him. He made a miraculous recovery to make the shot, but it doesn't count.
I think we were fortunate to just come out of that with just a traveling violation and not an injured player. Dittburner inside the paint, 14-footer, no. Zimmy again clears it. 26-15, they'll try it again. Corey Higgins back out between the two rings. He's played by Dan Wise. Ricky dribbled the thing, popping off from the high post. Bybee, 17-footer there, no. Tapped by Drew Diener into the hands of Zimmerman. Reload. Here's Corey Higgins. Round to the right side. Drew trailed away there. Honeycomb down. And Dittburner clears it for the West Indians, and Oshkosh West wants timeout. We got a timeout taken on the court here with 4 minutes and 3 seconds remaining to be played here in the first half of action. And Al and I'll be back right after this. Commercial recorder looked a little off on the last one. Von Gardine down in the van, a position not real accustomed for Dawn. Does step in there whenever we ask her to, and does a fine job for us. We have a short crew on hand here this weekend with Marion College kind of closing up for the semester, and a few other people off on other assignments and what have you. So a one-camera shoot here tonight to top it off, as we will have tomorrow night. Except tomorrow night I don't have you. Tomorrow night I do a loner. Bank jumper here off the glass and down by Jeff Wooling. His first bucket of the game. They stay right there under 10 at 26-17. West has been pretty much within striking distance. They had a little cold snap there in the first quarter. Bybee comes around, Dittburner, and goes down the paint and lays it in. Bybee, that's his ninth.
I don't think Oshkosh has figured out quite how to stop Bybee yet.
Well, he's developed, or has had, or has developed, whatever, such a quick first step out. He's really worked. He's got the thing of it is, you never know what movie he's going to lay on you next. He's got a book full of them. Coming down the paint, Zimmerman foul.
He's got a nice 12, 15 footer too, so you can't just lay down and wait for him to come in.
This foul on the West Indians will go on Werner. Common foul still, Fond du Lac inbounds. Give it to Fivey. Didburner stuffed it, but then the foul's going to be called on Didburner, I believe. And I'll tell you something on this one. Fivey shows us one more thing there, Al, because Didburner, I think, had all ball. And Greg kind of went into an Academy Award job, and I think kind of drew that foul. It was good. It was an excellent job by Fivey. I think he drew the foul. Had he just left it alone as a block, that's the way it would have gone. And Fivey to the free throw line gets the first. But I tell you, he sure made it look like he was getting hammered, didn't he?
Yes, it did.
In all reality, I don't think he did, but he made it look that way. 29-17. Wonder who it was.
Well, he's not the same player he was last year.
That's for sure. Right side sidewalk, and the basketball knocked out of bounds. Touched last year by high-fiving. Wonder who his dramatics coach is. So Dutton on the inbound street. They get it back to him down the low post. Double up on him. Jekyll might have intimidated him. And Fivey was there as well. And Fond du Lac back up court with the basketball. Higgins. Here's Zimmerman around to the left side. Jekyll now up high post. Split it off on the weak side to Higgins. Looked down to Drew. Couldn't get there.
They've decided they're not going to let Drew have any room to breathe.
Well, and he gets the shot away here from a free throw line, and the foul is going to go on Connect. And that'll be his second. That's the 7th team. It's a shooting foul anyway. So the bonus thing does not affect it. Drew Diener will go to the line and shoot a pair. Now, I tell you, Connect very quick fighting off of that pick. I don't know, was that Jekyll or was it Zimmy who had set the pick up at the high post? And Drew came around and brushed Connect off that pick very nicely, but Connect fighting around it and closed very quickly. Drew Diener knocks down the first. He'll get one more. Got them both. Drew Diener and his brother Derek helping out over at the Waters Gym on Saturday mornings with the grade school basketball clinics. We have a foul in the lane. And this one will go on Casey Jekyll. 5th team, that's the 4th. Well, they got him up with the 6th team on the board. Still a common foul at any rate, and West will inbound. I think they're probably a little bit shell-shocked right now, Al, trailing this game by 14. I think they felt that it'd be a lot closer yet at this point. Dutton ran the way. No, Drew Diener goes up and snares it. Outlet pass to Corey Higgins. And back up come the Cards.
I guess the impressive thing is Fondy hasn't lost anything with the subs in the game.
And Zimmerman lets go on a 15-footer off of the baseline. Can't hit it. Shot it short. Wolank right back up court. Here's Didburner. Offensive foul.
I don't believe there was quite that much contact there either, Dave.
But again, I tell you, you got to find out who his dramatics coach is, Al, because, boy, he made it look like, again, he made it look like he just got blasted, didn't he? Good job by Greg Fivey.
It's kind of fun to watch Corey Higgins run his team. He seems to be out there directing his guys around, putting them where he wants them.
He's done a nice job since being inserted into the basketball game, yeah. Little different style tempo, which can be good. Give your opponent a different look. Casey Jekyll steps outside the high post and hits the 16-footer. Casey Jekyll with his second bucket of the game, 33-17. Cardinals darn near got her doubled up once again. Coming around to pick out high. Lean in by Wolank is good. 48 seconds remaining here in the first half of action. And Corey Higgins back up. And Derek hasn't seen much action here in the second quarter at all, has he?
No, he hasn't.
5-8. That's good for Corey, and it'll work out well. It'll work out just fine for Derek as well.
I think it's good for all the subs. You know, get some playing time in case you need them down the stretch.
Well, they've done well. It's good. Been good quality time too.
Going for the last shot, looks like.
Zimmerman, Higgins, works it down. 14 ticks on the clock. Got it up in the upper left-hand corner. 10 seconds left. And now what do we got? 3-second violation called on the Cardinals. And Dick Diener not at all happy about that. I don't know who got caught napping in the paint or watching the paint dry, whatever you want to call it. But the Cardinals turn it over at a bad time here in the first half. Dunn pulls up, free throw line jumper, in out, hoop would have it. Rebound away to Kyle Lace. They aren't going to have time to get a shot away. That'll be the end of the first half of action. And our score here at halftime is the Fond du Lac Cardinals 33 and the Oshkosh West Indians 19. Al and I'll be back right after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball report. Score at halftime, the final 33 and the Oshkosh West Indians 19. A very good first half of action, Al Diener. You know, you got some people into the game that, well, in particular Corey Higgins, who has not seen an awful lot of playing time, and I thought he did a very nice job at that point guard spot in the second quarter of action. I hope that it's not because of an illness thing to Derek or something of that nature. Whatever it was, I thought it was good quality playing time for Corey Higgins, and he came in and ran the show well. That was one of your concerns when we were talking in the pregame show, and lo and behold, a young man who stepped in did a pretty nice job.
Yeah, they got a lot of production out of all their players that came in off the bench tonight. They moved the ball around well. They seemed to stick with the game plan pretty good. And like I say, they didn't really lose anything once the subs were in the game. They held their lead and did an admirable job.
Let's take a quick look here at the statistics as we have them at halftime. The Fond du Lac Cardinals in that first half of action, 13 of 20, 6 for 50%. West was 9 of 21 for 42. The Cardinals hitting on 4 of 7 from the line, 57%. West only going to the line for one toss. Rebounds, Fond du Lac leading the way at 13 to 9. 3 turnovers only for the Cards, 7 for Oshkosh West. Quickly the scoring leaders here in the first half of action. Fond du Lac was led by Drew Diener with 11 points in that first half of action. And Greg Fyvie with a hot hand early in the basketball game comes in with 10. Ryan Dutton leads the way for the West Indians with a total of 10 points, the only scorer in double figures for West. Fond du Lac now moving from right to left. Casey Jekyll starts the second quarter of action with a turnaround off the low post, and he knocked it down. Casey Jekyll is 6th.
Yeah, Fondy shot a blistering 60% from beyond the arc in the first half. That's amazing.
And good three-point shot selection here tonight as well. I liked it. And the senior, Matt Weiss, missed that shot, and Jekyll is fouled by Dutton. So Dutton picks up his second personal. And this will send Casey Jekyll to the free throw line. And a little bit of a change there in the locker room at halftime, Al, as they come back, starting Casey Jekyll here in the second half. Played well in that first half of action, had 4 points.
Well, there again, if he wants to see these guys get some playing time, there's no better time than now. The lead hasn't eroded at all, and they're all playing pretty well.
Casey goes to the line, knocks one down, knocks down a pair, the sophomore. 37 to 19, it's an 18-point lead for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. And here's Matt Weiss, had to change his shot. Drew goes up, snares it out of the air. Derek on the run, here come the Cardinals. Give it off to Zimmerman, turn down the shot on the break, and reload the basketball. Derek down low, Fyvie, bump bang, blocking foul on Dutton, that's his third.
I think what Jekyll gives you, Dave, is he gives you a little more offense than maybe...
However, Greg Fyvie bouncing off of that blocking foul, and Fyvie went down to the court hard. And the officials beckoning Dick Diener out onto the floor. And Fivey now is going to come out of the basketball game. Now, wasn't this a shooting foul? Apparently not. And Kyle Laced will come in.
Yeah, as I was saying, I think Jekyll gives you maybe a little more offense than Kyle Lace does.
Well, Kyle, role player, as we talked about in the pregame. And, you know, Kyle plays very well within himself, Al, and you have to appreciate that. Here's Drew Diener. Trey,
That's right where we left off.
14 points, Drew Diener. 40-19, Cards looking hot. Dutton working here on Jekyll. Fakes right, comes back to left. Running one-handers good by Ryan Dutton.
Real nice move.
He kind of took the sophomore to math class that time, didn't he?
Yeah, well, Derek's running the show again.
Derek to Zimmy, popping out from the low post. Here's Derek again. They flash Jekyll up to the high post. Can't get him the basketball. Coming around to pick down Drew Diener. Black from behind. Horton with a rebound. Outlet pass. Comes to Dan Weiss. Leaves it for Connect. Connect can't connect. And stepping in front of the pass is Jekyll. He took it away from Dutton. Wow. Casey Jekyll. And here's Derek around the pick. Pulls up 15-footer. Bingo! Derek Diener is fourth of the game. 42-21. Everything clicking on all 9 cylinders here tonight. Dutton outside. Trey J gone. 15 points for Ryan Dutton. He's going to get his double figures. He will more than likely end up the leading scorer in the conference. Would be surprising if he doesn't, quite frankly. So he's going to get his points. Shut down the rest of the team, though. You're going to beat this Oshkosh West team. And they've done a real nice job on Mike Connect tonight. Kyle Laced, out hole high. Jekyll pops out from the high post, coming around again is Drew Diener. Leaves it here for Laced, running one-hander. Good foul!
What a pass and what a move. Nice speed from Drew to Kyle going to the basket there.
Well, is this a sometimes you feel like a pro night or what? Dutton and Horton come out. Warner is back in. Wolank is back in for the West Indians. And Matt Weiss come out. I didn't notice him come off of the floor, but also up off of the Pines is Derek Pepler for the West Indians as Kyle Lace goes to the line and he knocks down the three-point play. Fivey will come back in. Kyle Lace will come out. Kyle Lace gets a well-deserved round of applause. That was a tough, tough shot. Wolank gets helped out down to the baseline, and they cut him off. Now coming to the hole, here's Weiss running one-hander by Dan. No, and a foul. If you recall in the pro game, this would be a loose ball foul, and Casey Jekyll is going to pick it up. That's his second. That's only the first team of the second half.
Yeah, they did a nice job getting him loose underneath that time. Don't like to see that.
No. Trouble getting the ball in. Finally due to Wolank. Wolank pulls up over Fivey off of the baseline. 12-footer no. Fivey didn't get his balance to box out. The second shot missed, and Derek Diener taps into the hands of Casey Jekyll. So back up court comes Derek Diener. 45-21 basketball game. Looping feed. Jekyll down to the baseline. Double up on him. Now Zimmerman reloads out to Derek Diener. Looking for help, and Brother Drew now pops up. Got to get some movement here. Now Zimmy out there. Jekyll, 10-footer on the baseline. Banged it down. Casey Jekyll. Boy, I don't think he got a little confidence when Dick Diener said, Casey, you go out and start the third quarter, did he? He's playing with abandon here in this third quarter of action, and we have a foul off the ball.
Got a little reach in there. Zimmy, I believe.
No.
No?
Greg Fivey. Fivey with his second. That's the second team foul. Ryan Dutton right back into the basketball game. Dan Schrum comes in. Casey Jekyll goes out. He played almost the first 4 minutes of this quarter and played great. Impressive third quarter for the young sophomore. Looping feed, Dutton Dutton, they got him doubled up, had to change his shot. Fall-away jumper, no. 5-y, skies and clears. Derek, up court they come. Drew, trail away, God! Oh, he's hit nothing but trays tonight, and he's got 5 of them. And they've been well picked. Dutton had to change his shot. Good job by Zimmerman. And now Derek just got banged in the eye, it appeared, and now he's going to get called for a travel. He took a pop to the eye and is looking to come out of the basketball game. And is he going to or no? I thought I saw Dick make a move, and now the official sending him over to the bench. He got poked in the eye, Al, no doubt about it. And there was no whistle on it, and then on his way up court, gets called for the travel.
Officials having a little discussion out in mid-court.
So now Roger Springborn, well, they called a technical. They called a technical foul on the Cardinals. Well, Ryan Dutton to the free throw line. Boy, I tell you, when you're wearing the stripes, Al, you don't compound a terrible call by adding a technical to it. As they say, 2 wrongs don't make a right.
Is that 2 wrongs or 2 wrongs?
2 wrongs, right. Well,
still administering to Derek over there.
Yeah. And now Steve Randall up off the Pines. Al Diener. Or Al Diener, yeah.
Oh,
Dick
I can't
Diener.
go in. I can't go in.
Dick Diener up talking to the officials. And Derek now will remain in the game.
Yeah, I have no eligibility left, Dave.
Yeah. Well, there's a guy sitting in the stands over across the way, though, that...
game's getting a little out of hand here, Dave.
Derek Diener now picks up his 2nd personal. And back over to the Pines, looking like he wants to come out of the ball game, and now he will.
Corey Higgins.
That's his 3rd. That's why. It's his 3rd personal. Oh, they must have called the technical on Derek. That's why it's his 3rd. See, I didn't know who they'd called the technical on, and of course, that's a rule in high school ball. You get a tee, it also counts as a personal. Dutton, fall-away jumper, head of the key, no 5, he clears it. And Corey Higgins will bring her up. 50, 26, 3:10 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Higgins into the forecourt, comes for Drew Diener. The bounce feed comes back hole high to Schrum. Swing it off, here's Drew, left side sidewalk. Back to the right side, Schrum. And now a foul off of the ball again.
If I'm the coach of the Oshkosh West Indians, I'm a little concerned here because this is looking like it's turned into the Ryan Dutton show. He seems to be doing it all himself, or trying to do it all himself.
We're going to get a timeout now taken by Steve Randall and the Oshkosh West Indians. 2:55 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of action. Timeout here at the Redbird Arena. Back after this. The Redbird Arena, the Final Act Cards in command with a 50-26 lead in this basketball game. Have played. But I can't say it's their best game because I didn't see the game, of course, last week against Appleton West. They hammered them by 30+, but have played extremely well here tonight. They had Schrum around to the right side. And I think you're right, Al. Steve Randall taking the time out because it was probably turning into the Ryan Dutton show a little bit. Trail away here. Drew, good! I don't think he's missed one. Trey, Wolank, no. Drew Diener, Skies, has. And back up court comes Corey Higgins. Higgins yo-yos the dribble right on the left side. Give it to Drew Diener. Well, they got this face that time. Corey Higgins again to the right side. Zimmy up hole high. Zimmerman comes for Schrum. Looks down to Drew Diener. Give it to, oh, nice lead feed to Schreier. 5-y got from Zimmy to 5-y. And leaning in is Werner. Can't hit the shot. Schrum taps into the hands of Higgins. Here come the Cardinals. Higgins, right side. Give it to Schrum. Schrum comes back out, swing it off onto the near side now for Drew Diener. 1:30 remaining here in the third quarter of action. Coming around to pick out high. Lean in, Drew Diener. He is hot.
This could be the game we've been waiting for. Get him on track.
I don't believe he's missed, Al. I know he hasn't missed from three-point range, and Wolank knocks one down to finally answer for the West Indians. And Higgins got doubled up in the backcourt, got no help, and then loses the handle on the ball. Dutton comes back and slams it down. 8 points for him in the quarter, 18 overall. Higgins
Gotta
again.
get some help.
Doubled up, looking to go, he traveled. I don't know that you can fault Corey Higgins on this because it's not a man-to-man press. Unless I'm reading it wrong. Maybe it is and I'm reading it wrong. Certainly they're getting double-ups on Corey as Derek Diener now will come back in. And Corey, I'm sure, upset with himself, but boy, he just got trapped back there. No place to go with the basketball. Lean in, oh boy, shot by Mike Connect.
Really committed the cardinal sin in the backcourt when you give up the dribble.
Well, I think he saw a window for a pass, Al, and the window was closed very quickly.
Going for the last shot here, probably.
19 seconds in the quarter. Schrum comes back outside to Derek Diener. Derek played here by Dan Weiss. Here's Drew off the baseline. Running one hand, it's good by Drew Diener. Down to 2 seconds here in the quarter. Werner, half-court shot. No, and that'll be the end of the third quarter of action. And our score after 3 is the Fond du Lac Cardinals 59. And Oshkosh West 33. Back with the final 8 right after this. Redbird Arena here at Fond du Lac Goodrich High. I'm Dave Preston along with Al Diener to bring you this game here tonight. And the Fond du Lac Cardinals have been hot as a Mexican pepper here this evening.
Yeah, Dave, for the quarter, Fondy's 3 for 3 for 100% from the line, 10 for 11 for 90% from the floor, 3 for 3 from three-point range, 8 rebounds and 3 turnovers. For the Oshkosh West Indians, 2 for 2 from the line, 5 for 15 for 33% from the floor, 2 for 3 for 75% from three-point land, 1 rebound and 1 turnover.
Well, Ryan Dutton opens up the third quarter of action for the West Indians by knocking down a three-pointer. And around to the right side here for the Cardinals is Mike Zimmerman. Give it to Derek. 5-y now outside the post. Reloads Derek Diener to Zimmerman. Looking down, lead feed inside 5-y. Running one-hander, no. Tapped by 5-y once, no. Ball tapped out of bounds. No, it didn't go out of bounds. Horton saved it from going obey. And quickly up court, here's Weiss as he comes running down. Oh, they're going to call Derek Diener, and he never laid a finger on him.
That's 4.
That's the 4th personal, you're right, on Derek Diener. Never laid a hand on him, and that certainly was not a block. Wow. Well, he's a marked man now. I'm sure that Derek, of course, picked up the tee earlier and will now come out of the basketball game, and Corey Higgins comes back in. And Weiss is going to go to the free throw line. Dan Weiss with 3 points in the ball game, and he misses the front half of the 2-shot foul. Miner, once again, not too late to get out to the Fond du Lac Youth Basketball Clinics that will be held, they'll be held tomorrow on this Saturday. Then, of course, we'll take the next 2 Saturdays off before returning on the second weekend of January. But they are at Sabish and at Waters. I guess pretty much if you're on the west side of town, grade school on the west side of town, you go to Waters, or to Sabish, and if you're on the east side of town, you go to Waters.
They gave him 3 chances for free throws, and he missed them all.
Yep. There's one doesn't count. Well, here's Mike Zimmerman. Leans in, 15-footer honeycombed down. Rebound away to Mike Kinnett. Girls' sessions are from 8:45 to 10:15 at both locations. And Weiss coming in, leaves it off on the baseline here for Horton. Wanted to turn around and hit the, take a jumper there, could not. Weiss takes the 15-footer of the baseline, no. The rebound cleared by Zimmerman into the hands of Corey Higgins. Boys' sessions from 10:30 a.m. until noon. And both at Sabish and Waters. And not too late now, folks, and it's free, okay? So if you missed last week, which was the first week, you can still show up tomorrow, and they'll be more than happy to have you.
Well, Corey Higgins getting plenty of playing time now, Dave. Of course, it isn't really the way we'd want it to happen.
Derek Diener, check that 5. He hammered from behind by Horton. Yeah, and now, of course, a little bit more pressure on Corey Higgins. Because you don't, well, with 5:52 remaining, you could come back with Derek and with the lead that you have. But I would say that it does put just a tad bit more pressure onto Corey Higgins, knowing that now you really don't have someone to come in for you. So Greg Fivey will go to the free throw line. Greg is just 2 for 4 from the line here tonight. And on the way with the first, and he missed it.
Well, Corey's probably going to be our point guard next year, so it's probably just as well to get the playing time and get used to the pressure.
Yeah, that's true.
1 for 2.
And knocks down the second one as somebody popped the balloon up there in the stands. Seems to be a new game the student body plays here. You got these oversized balloons kind of popping around up in the stands. Turnaround jumper in the paint here by Ryan Dutton knocked it down. It's 60 to 38, 22-point lead. Higgins. And man-to-man defense here by Oshkosh West this time up court. They switch up defenses a lot. Here's Fivey flashing through the baseline. Drew Diener, reverse layup, no, but a foul.
Well, the way Drew's playing tonight, he ought to knock these home.
Connect, that's his 4th. And Drew Diener, who is 2 for 3, will step to the line and shoot a pair. That's the 6th team foul, by the way, on the Oshkosh West Indians. And Drew missed the front half.
Guess I put the hoodoo on.
Yeah, that's usually my job, you know that, don't you? I'm usually the guy whammying these guys. Got the second one. I got to bring you along more often. Maybe everybody out there that would believe that it's not all my fault. You know, when the team shot poorly from the free throw line last year, they'd blame it on me. Here's Dutton. I tried to blame it on the water. Dutton missing from the coffin corner. Higgins clears it. And Corey Higgins looping feet across the timeline. Drew Diener, here's Higgins back out between the 2 rings once again. Corey spins around, comes off on the left side to Casey Jekyll. And a foul. Was this away from the ball? Well, they
putting the body on Fivey, I guess, there in the lane.
Yeah, called the foul on Pepler. That's his 2nd. And it puts the Indians over the limit. Connect will come out for Oshkosh West. Werner is back in. Dan Schrum comes in for Mike Zimmerman for Fond du Lac. Junior varsity team out here tonight, by the way, dropped a tough one. They were down pretty much the whole ball game, made a very valiant comeback late in the basketball game. Got to within 3 with about 22 seconds to go, but couldn't get over the hump, and they lost it here tonight 68 to 64. Fivey, he remains a perfect 50% from the free throw line. But do keep in mind with that sophomore team that probably 3 of their best players, 4 of their best players are up on the varsity. And outside shot here, Trey by Woolite is good. But for all intents and purposes, the Cards really just need to take care of the basketball here. This one's pretty much history, leading it by 21 with 4:31 remaining. Gals, by the way, a tough game tonight up at Oshkosh West themselves. And they will return home next Tuesday against Neenah. Flashing down to the baseline, high to low, is Dan Schrum. They can't get him the basketball. 5E trying to rifle one through there. It's knocked away and out of bounds.
I guess Dick must have read our mind this week. He's got Drew going inside quite a bit.
And 5E with a putback. Well, I don't know, Al. Most of his points actually came from outside. Another tray here by Woolake is good.
Yeah, but he's been going to the basket. He's got a couple of layups, some fouls.
Yeah.
It's something he hasn't really been doing early in the season.
3-on-1, 5E lays it off the glass and down. High 5E. 18 points, the basketball game for him. Werner out hole high, steps up, free throw line jumper, leaning in is good. His first bucket of the game. He was the first guy off the bench here tonight. 3:33 remaining, 66-46. Right side, sidewalk, Schrum with the basketball. Bring it out, here's Higgins between the two rings. Give it to Drew Diener. Tomorrow night we'll have high school buckets action for you. Springs playing host to a very tough Oshkosh Lourdes team, and Werner left all alone down court, cheating on the break, is going to lay this one in. And Fond du Lac, Dick Diener here wants to take a timeout. Things getting maybe a little bit raggy, and is going to talk things over with everybody. 3:10 remaining regulation play. Fond du Lac leads at 66-48. Back after this.
You want me to greenlight a weekly series with Howie Mandel? This better be fresh. You're looking at your next job.
Love this business.
True story. Frustrated wife, older husband, young sex slave.
Think Egypt, born in the desert, 10,000-year-old artifact. It's 80% Indiana Jones, 20% Star Wars.
I'm liking it 80-20. I'm loving it 60-40.
Talk about hits. Showtime. Talk about exciting.
Loving it, loving it. What else you got?
Three minutes, 10 seconds remaining in regulation play of this basketball game. Barring a complete fold here, there certainly won't be any overtime, and regulation play should be the end of it. The Cards would have their 34th victory in a row at home, with the Kimberly Papermakers coming in here 1 week from tonight. And Mike Zimmerman is fouled. I don't imagine, though, Al, that there will be quite as much hoopla over this game with Kimberly as there was last year. Kimberly, still a fine basketball team, but not what they were a year ago, when they were the Cats Meow of Division II basketball, or Division II class in the state of Wisconsin, and walked away with that Division II state tournament. Mike Zimmerman bangs down a pair. The Fond du Lac lead is 68-48 with 2:51 remaining. Connect. Lost the hand on the ball, out of bounds, up into the stands, and we'll go back to the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Well, if you were Steve Randall and the Oshkosh West Indians, who have beaten the Cardinals in I don't know how many now. And Wise knocked it away. Leave it outside for Woolite. Going to take the tray and knock it home. He's hit 3 3-pointers here in the fourth quarter. 17, 2:25 remaining. Derek down court, cheating on the break as 5E goes in and slams it. High 5E. 70-51. Again, Werner with a three. No, Derek with a clear, or check that, Drew with a clear, and knocked down is Dutton underneath the bucket. And they called it on Drew. Drew Diener only his second personal, a fourth team foul. And Kyle Lace is back into the basketball game. And up off the Pines is 6'3" junior Andy Moline for Fond du Lac. And did Fivey come out? I believe he did. Fine night for Greg High Fivey. Connect, falling down, throws it out of the coffin corner here to Werner. Get it back to Dutton, had to change his shot in the paint, and he missed it. Honeycomb now, rebound away to Mike Zimmerman. Foul underneath on Mike Connect, I believe, and if it is, he's all done. That's it. Mike Connect has fouled out of the basketball game. And, boy, there's a big difference, Al. Young man there that's averaging in double figures, and the Cards hold him to 1 bucket here tonight.
Wow.
Not averaging in big double figures, but he's averaging consistently right around 11, 12 points a game. And we'll go to the other end of the court. Mike Zimmerman will go to the free throw line with a 1+1. One more, and Fond du Lac will be shooting a deuce every time they go to the line. Simi knocks down the first one.
They pretty much lived at the line in the fourth quarter.
Well, I think because West probably had to gamble a little bit more, I think we also became a little bit more complacent. We're taking some time off the clock, being a lot more patient offensively. Overall, this has been a very well-played game for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. They let Werner get free, though, and he comes down and lays this one in. 1:42 remaining. And a rebound underneath to Andy Moline, and he puts it in. Might be his first bucket of his varsity career. I'm not certain of that. Outside, Wolank, Trey there, no. Dutton pushing off on Moline. No, they called it on Moline. Well, they called it on Moline. They're going to send Dutton to the free throw line, and Dutton was already halfway down the other end of the court. He thought the foul was on him.
Bench clearing time.
Andy Rose is into the basketball game here for the Fond du Lac Cards, a sophomore, 6'5". And also into the basketball game now, Andy Judkins at 6'4". He is a senior. Ryan Dutton will go to the free throw line. Got the first. .24 points in the ball game for Ryan Dutton. And again, I said about halfway through this contest that I don't think you're going to stop Ryan Dutton from getting his share of points. But what the Cardinals have done tonight is they have pretty well put the clamps on everybody else, and Dutton's going to come out. But Steve Randall, Al's got to wonder what the hey, you know, I come in here with a pretty good basketball team and you still hammer me. And over the last 5 years or so, the West Indians have not fared well against the Fond du Lac Cards. They did throw a big scare into the Cardinals last year up at Oshkosh, right about this time of the year, as a matter of fact. Out of the coffin corner. Rose, swinging around. Judkins, right side sidewalk. Judkins, they lose the handle on the basketball, taken away, though, by Derek Diener. Got it down to Moline, comes in, lays it down, good foul.
Good ball movement there, real good ball movement.
And that from a group of guys, Al, that I'm sure are more used to chasing around the court defensively, playing against the first string. So into the basketball game, well, we had a couple of changes here. Jeff Behrens, who has some Diener connection there. His mother, by the way, is Jeff Behrens. Let's put it this way: Jeff is Dick's nephew and cousin to both Derek and Drew. Kathy Diener being his mom, or Kathy Behrens, his mom. And outside tray here is good by Dan Wise. Well, they've hit their share of here, but it's been in a desperation sort of a state late in the basketball game, and Rose.
A little miscommunication there.
Yeah. Now he ends up with a travel. 30 seconds remaining. And to the right side, there's a travel there, but got away without the call by Brian Taylor. Couldn't hit the shot and do it. 20 seconds left. Quickly up court is Jacob Brando. 5'9" junior outside. Shot on the way here by Judkins Nil. Wolang. Nil out of bounds. Back to the Cards with 4 seconds remaining. Cardinals will win this one. Something like their 34th consecutive game here at home. Half-court shot on the way from Judkins. No, and that'll do it.